Hey, this is Allison.
This is Berkeley.
This is Brittany.
And we are Books Uncorked.
That was more awkward than normal. I don't know why. Maybe it was our
Because
faces.
we said this is us instead of I'm Allison.
I like this. Like, this
What?
is Berkeley.
But we are together Books Uncorked.
Yeah. Okay. I love
Collectively.
it. I'm into it. You guys, this is our 10th book review. Our 10th podcast.
What up?
It's really much higher than our 10th podcast because we've recorded multiple times and it not worked.
Like last weekend.
Ain't
I'm
that
sorry.
the
I've got a
truth?
cough. It's going away. I'm treating it with wine.
Yeah, that's gonna work.
Okay. Who wants to talk about their week first? I'm just kidding. I'm feeling super peppy today.
Brittany called me earlier and I asked her if somebody was holding a gun to her head because her high-pitched tone was so obnoxious.
I was just in a really
Obnoxiously
good mood.
wonderful.
Whatever. I know what you mean now.
I felt like obnoxious was a really mean word after it came out of my mouth, and I'm sorry for that.
Whatever. Now I know your true feelings.
Okay. Berkeley.
How was my
Berkeley.
week?
Yes.
Well,
Berkeley.
after we recorded last Friday, and I got very sick, and we had to stop the podcast.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I've had a very shitty week.
I can't read this.
I'll do it again.
And I've been recovering since last Friday. Was it Friday?
Berkeley threw up so hard.
They went and took a smoke
Yeah.
break.
So we've already.
I barfed.
Alice.
What?
Who took a smoke break?
Allison?
Thank you. Let's be very clear here.
Well,
Brittany
everyone
came
left
with
and
me
I
is
puked.
what Berkeley is trying to
No,
say.
I didn't
guess
puke.
that's true.
I fell asleep on the toilet. And everyone was like, where'd Berkeley go? And everyone trying to get me up off the toilet. And I was just taking a nap. On the toilet.
We have pictures.
So funny.
And then they drug me back out here. And I talked for 3 minutes. And I threw my equipment on the ground and went and puked.
Yeah, that was unfortunate.
Yeah, poor equipment.
That's okay.
It was my daughter's birthday today.
Yeah.
So
cute
that's a
little
good thing.
Lillian.
She's 2. It was great. We're having her big birthday party tomorrow. So it's been a stressful but nice recovery week.
Yeah.
What about you guys?
Well, I went to work unlike some people.
Hey, I work.
I'm kidding.
It's like I work
2
as
hours
well.
a week.
Well, Brittany called in sick one day.
You had a snow day.
Listen,
Equivalent.
Linda. The snow day happened to happen on parent-teacher conference day, too.
I'm so
So
happy
that
for you.
I know. So what was going to be a 12-hour day for me turned into a 0-hour day for me.
What a dream come true.
So do they just reschedule?
Yeah, so they'll be next Monday. And then I have parent-teacher conferences next Tuesday, too. So where they would have been spaced out, now they're bunched together. But honestly,
2 shitty days.
well, I prefer it that way. Honestly.
Get over all the shit.
Like, I get really nervous about what parents are going to on the first day. God damn it, Becca. I don't know. I don't even know.
Allison's awkward ass face.
I was like, I felt like you were trying to tell me something.
Listen, I decided tonight there was no reason to dirty a glass.
Now if you're going
I'm
to drink that
drinking
whole
straight
bottle.
out of the bottle. I feel like it's a good decision. I
We-
feel fully empowered by it.
There's worse decisions you can make.
That's true. Like not wearing a condom.
Becca's just throwing
Yeah.
me out to the wolves
Ditto.
in the middle of a podcast.
Okay.
Both while we were unwed
well-
mothers. High five.
Sorry.
Me and Berkeley could have a second podcast called Unwed Mothers.
Hey, I'm
I'm
married
an
now.
unwed lady.
I'm just kidding, Brittany.
Whatever. Sorry, I'll get pregnant so I can be included.
Don't. I highly suggest against it.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, we both love our kids so much, but oh, the pain.
Okay. Well, my week was good. I'm going on a business trip next week, which makes me feel like such an adult. I don't know why.
Where are you going on this trip?
Texas.
I thought you went this week.
No.
Oh.
We scheduled it like Monday.
Okay.
I'm going to Texas. We're staying on this really cool cattle ranch, which I'm super freaking pumped for.
That doesn't sound businessy.
Well, we're going to see this, like this
Is it group
foundry
bonding?
that we use, and I'm so excited.
Are you guys going on a group retreat?
Is it
I
bonding?
I wish it was beach day on The Office. I wish we would have a freaking sumo wrestling contest and a hot dog eating contest.
I would
All to see
totally.
who was going to be the next regional manager.
Listen, I could put down on a hot dog eating contest.
I couldn't. I watched a YouTube video about it today, and it looked terrible.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
How weird that you would have watched a hot dog eating contest video.
The day we're talking
by
about it?
Ladylike
Yes,
on
that's
BuzzFeed.
what-
I love BuzzFeed.
I love
Ladylike.
BuzzFeed.
And the Try Guys, they're my freaking favorite. Try Guys aren't on BuzzFeed anymore. I support them. Woo!
I just burped.
Woohoo.
And I know that you two
But-
didn't hear it, but I thought that maybe the listeners did, so I had to
I'm
acknowledge it.
unscrewing my metal cap on my wine.
I hear Dallas.
Me and Berkeley made big life decisions this week, too.
I didn't get it. Okay, what?
I'm
made
sorry,
life
wait,
tell
I
me
thought
about
you were
your big
done.
life. Tell me about your big life decision.
Well, fuck, tell me about your business trip. Shit. Okay. I don't know what you said.
Someone's here.
Yeah, Dallas is here.
Right. I just know we need to pause real fast. Are we good?
Well, yeah.
Here. Hi, Dallas.
Hello. Okay.
So before we left, we were talking about our big life decisions this week.
Mm-hmm.
So Berkeley, what big life decision did you make this week? Permanently.
Oh, I got a tattoo.
What? No way! I got a tattoo.
Me too. Just kidding, Mom.
What does your tattoo say?
It's a lily. It's a purple
Oh,
lily. It's
I
for my
love
daughter.
that.
I love it. It's super, super cute. It's really like the perfect amount of like subtle and not subtle.
Yeah.
It's like it's not like slapping in your face, but it's also not like you don't see it. Because if you're gonna spend money, pain, and have some beautiful thing on your body, you want people to see it.
Yeah, this is literally probably going to be the only tattoo I ever get
I
on
love it.
my body.
They're addicting.
I just, like, after
Very
you got
few people only have one.
after you got your tattoo, did you immediately think I'm getting another?
Mm-hmm.
Because after I left, I'm like, I'm never doing this again. Like,
Did it hurt so bad?
No, just the anxiety of having something permanently on my body.
Honestly, I only felt that way after the biggest one that I have on my back. I said I don't have a dragon or anything crazy. I have a moon for my son, which isn't the most recent one that I got, but I felt that way after that one because I was like, that hurt like a son of a bitch. How have I ever enjoyed this? Like, I enjoy getting tattoos. Like, sitting in the chair.
Ew.
I love it.
I mean, I'm happy for you, but ouch.
So does Becca. But, like, you have to if you get a huge ass sleeve on your arm like she has.
Yeah.
Her sleeve is so nice, too. Allison,
Mhm.
what did you get?
Oh, I got a tattoo on my ankle.
Can I? Sorry, finish.
Wait, no, wait. What were you gonna say?
Sometimes Allison wants to make sure that we haven't forgotten to ask her what she does. So she like does hand signals and mouths to us what she wants us to ask her.
I was like,
Which is
somebody
what
asked
happened
me
in
what
this
I
case,
got on my body.
But I wasn't going to forget. She just was rushing.
What's permanent on your body this week, Alice?
Talk over the cough. It's fine.
No, I
Jesus
want us to
Christ,
hear it.
Brittany.
No, I don't like it. Makes me uncomfortable.
She was so aggressive just now. I
Like
got.
you haven't been.
I'm very aggressive all the time. Anyway, so I got SSDGM tattooed on the inner part of my ankle. We'll post both of our tattoos to our Instagram at Books Uncorked, but
And our new fancy ass setup, which we'll talk about at the end of our podcast.
yes, we'll post our fancy ass setup. But essentially, it's because of my favorite murder, but a lot of people have been really judgy about it.
That's bitchy.
And so I'm like, and it's ironically not my family.
Well, I mean, like, you don't
Who's
owe
been judgy
anyone
about
else
it?
an explanation.
I know, but is it not crazy that I feel like I have to explain myself? Like, it means
I
stay
will
sexy
say-
and don't get murdered, but like, obviously that means a lot more to me.
I will say when you texted to me, you said DDM. And I was like, I said, oh, what's that mean? In text. This was all over text. And she said, stay sexy and don't get murdered. And my first thought was, oh, fuck.
She forgot letters.
She forgot a letter. I can't tell her. This is on her body. This is not one of those things that, like, you wait to tell them when they're not more sensitive about it. This is like a never, ever, ever tell them. I was like, I don't do those kind of things. I can't keep something a secret forever.
It's, to be
And
fair,
I just felt
I have all of the letters. Just when I texted it to her, I forgot one of them.
Yeah, I was with other people and I was like, how do I not say this? How do I not tell her? Oh my God, how do I not say this? And they were like, and none of them gave me any solution.
Well, probably because they were like, hopefully she didn't really forget the letter.
I never crossed my mind to question that.
Oh my God. Well.
I thought you left it out like you leave out and.
Oh, well. That would make an excuse, but no, it says SSDGM. All the letters are there, and it's fine.
I love it. Okay.
I worked really hard this week to come up with something that my students could say instead of SSDGM. I can't think of anything. If you have anything...
Can they see it? Have they seen it?
Nobody has made a comment yet. I don't hide my tattoos from my kids.
I don't think you should. That's not what I was asking. For the record, I wasn't saying you should. I
No,
was
no,
just
no, I
surprised
didn't.
it's where it's at. I was surprised that they would see it.
They're very observant. 8-year-olds are very
I saw a tramp
observant.
stamp on one of my teachers once.
Which one?
Oh my
I'm not
God.
going to say her name.
Why?
Tell me
But
all
she had
about this
also
story.
made a joke
I don't have a
about-
tramp stamp.
She also made a joke. If you do, go you. Like, whatever.
No,
I'm
I know.
happy
I
for
just
you.
can't
No, I
imagine
just meant
what-
other people, but I just mean...
No.
Was it? What grade?
If you have a tramp stamp, go you. I just feel like I
I
should
am
apologize.
still friends with her on social media, so I hate to say the grade, but it was elementary school, and it was late elementary.
Oh, wait.
I'm not saying who it was.
5th or 6th grade?
She'll tell you later, Wrigley.
It was elementary. 6th grade is not elementary. I'm saying late elementary. I'll tell you, it was either 4th or 5th grade.
Well, I didn't go to elementary school with you, so it's irrelevant to me.
No, it's irrelevant to you. But she had just made a joke the day before about finding a tattoo parlor business card with a misspelled thing on it. And it was on our board, and we had to figure out, like, what the misspelling was. No, it wasn't misspelling. It was grammar. I don't remember. It was something. There was, like, an error on the business card.
Uh-huh.
And it was on our board, and we had to do it. But it was just so funny because she had, like, kind of talked
About tattoos the day
tattoos the
before.
day before, and then she bent over, and we saw the tramp stamp.
Oh my God, everybody?
I don't think everybody, but I know, like,
What was it?
we couldn't see the whole thing, so I don't know.
What did you see?
It was colored,
Okay.
and it was, it was a gap between her pants and her shirt, so I have no idea what it was. I like to imagine a butterfly or a dragon.
Lots of people in that age group have tramp stamps. That was
Yeah,
the thing.
I
for
want
a
a tramp
while.
stamp desperately. Just kidding.
Honestly, like,
It would detract
If you
from the
run-
unattractive things down there.
if you run out of places to put things on your body, like, I fully believe that I'll probably, like, I know for sure this isn't my last tattoo.
I don't mind.
And
Okay.
I'm running out of places.
Let's move into our wine portion of the evening. Our drinks. I have written down on our schedule wine because where books uncorked refers to wine, but
We
we're
don't
just
always drink
drinking.
wine. We're drinking.
Okay, Burke, what are you drinking tonight?
Yeah, no wine after last week. It's definitely
LOL.
a truly Sicilian blood orange.
I love it.
Spiked and sparkling. What about you, AB?
I am
I love
drinking.
that you used her family nickname.
I'm drinking
I'm tipsy.
sangria, Moscato Sangria by Vila. It's a nice bottle. It's
Box.
Vela.
Box. It's a nice box.
Oh, what did I say?
Bottle.
It's a box.
Which we're not against, for the record. We all fully support boxed wine.
Fully.
If you don't support boxed wine, obviously you're
You're
not,
listening to the wrong podcast.
Yeah, I don't know what to say about you. Ugh. No, I'm just kidding. Do what
Listen,
you
you're
want.
talking to a girl who has SpaghettiOs on her sweater, so.
Ugh.
Well, that
Anyways,
was judgmental.
to be fair, like, tomatoes have too much acidity for me, and it makes me sick. So, SpaghettiOs is just, like, in my mind, something that makes me ill.
That's okay.
So, you know what I mean? That's why they're so gross to me. I'm not actually saying they're disgusting.
I'm not big
But
on
for me,
SpaghettiOs.
they give me horrible acid reflux,
Yeah.
and I don't enjoy them, and they make me think of terrible things.
Honestly, I don't necessarily enjoy them. I just didn't want to go out for dinner.
That's fair. I didn't eat dinner tonight. I ate 1/4 of a quesadilla left over from Lillian.
It was Lily's birthday quesadilla
So
that she
thank you,
didn't
Berkeley,
eat one
for
bite
feeding
of
me.
because there were Oreo churros and cupcakes. And chips and cheese.
So I'm drinking I'm going to spell it for you. MIRASSOU. Marasu. I have no idea. The second grade freaking phonics teacher is about to freaking tell us.
You're right.
It irritates me a little bit.
MIR split ASU. Marazu.
I need
Okay,
to look
sure,
at
sounds
it.
great. Winery Pinot Grigio. It's out of California, and it's a 2017 vintage.
Vintage.
It's vintage isn't the right word, but it's a vintage. I don't know. That's whatever the fuck it was.
It looks like the word
But
wants
it's
to be
160
Missouri.
years of winemaking. Also, it's a 12.5 alcohol content, and
She has
I've
about
drank most
less
of the
than a
bottle.
quarter left.
I'm drinking straight out of the bottle, and I'm proud of it.
I'm
I
proud
forgot
of
my
her.
bottle straws though.
Hey,
that
how'd
my
your date go
sister-in-law
last
got me.
weekend?
Hmm? I had a date last weekend. I forgot about that.
How'd it go?
Sorry, you guys heard me put my cap on. I'm gonna put that down so you don't hear it. My date went well. We went and saw that movie, The Upside.
I want to see that.
It was really good. It had like heartwarming moments. It had tons of laughter moments.
I saw a
It's
movie
based on a
too.
true story. It was great. What movie did you see?
I saw What Men Think.
I'm so upset with you. You saw that? I wanted to go do that as a girls' night.
I saw it with Kennedy.
Will you see it again? Or not? It's okay if not. I'll ask
I
Berkeley to go with
probably
me.
won't just because I want to see the upside.
Berkeley, you want to go to the movies next week? This week?
Yeah.
Okay. Berkeley and I
Well,
are
I'm
see
gonna
it.
go.
We
Now
can do a
she's
double
got
feature.
FOMO.
Anyways, okay, I'll finish my date story. Then we went out and hung out with like his friends who I've met multiple times. So they're definitely still his friends, but like I'm comfortable around them. They're not
Right.
like our friends or his friends for sure, but I'm comfortable around them. One of his friends multiple times was like, "Brittany, I love you so much. You're so great."
Eric?
Yeah. Have I told you this yet?
No, I just can tell
It's
that
so
that's
funny.
Eric.
Yeah, it was him so much. And then at one point he came up to both of us and was like, "This is so great. I'm so happy." And both of us were so uncomfortable.
Aww.
And like I was just like,
We're
thanks."
yeah, it's not like we're like married. Eric.
Someone in the bathroom told me like, "Wipe him up." And I was like, "This is our second date. Take a chill pill."
Who was it? Allie.
No. It was Nicole. I love Nicole so much though, for the record. Nicole is like
I forgot that they came.
so fun. I love her.
I know she is such a.
But
Wait,
really,
which Nicole are we talking
She
about?
parties hardy, dude.
uh,
Kelsey's sister.
yeah.
Wait, when did you guys all go out?
No, everyone didn't go. It was Nicole and Kelsey met us all because we were at
After our
Henry.
tattoos.
Oh, okay. Oh, wait.
We were at Henry Hudson's. Allison came in and said like hi, but she wasn't feeling it. She wasn't planning on feeling it. For the record, she left because she just.
I
came in
dropped
to say
off
hi to
Kelsey
me.
and Nicole. That's
Yeah.
what my plan was.
She just came in so she could say hi to me. But
And show her that my
our
tattoo
plan
wasn't four
honestly
letters.
was to go to the movies and be done. And then he was like, hey, my friends are going to Henry's. Let's go out. Or do you want to go? And I was like, yeah, sure, that's fine. And then we stayed until closing, which was really late, and I was really tired.
That's so late.
Because, yeah, for multiple reasons, I was very tired. But I had a really good time, and I enjoyed myself.
We got back into bullshit, and I'm not really sure how.
Because Berkeley asked
I
me how
forgot
my...
about the date.
Yeah, my thing was... Whose book was this?
It was mine.
Do you have the synopsis pulled up?
Yeah.
Do you really?
No.
Okay, let's kill some time. My date was really good, though. I enjoyed myself. I told my mom about this podcast.
Oh my God. Hi,
Tonight.
Mom.
So,
We love you so much.
I love
Welcome
her
to
so
our
much.
club.
It wasn't a secret. I just hadn't told her about it yet. And I don't tell my family about my dating life at all.
So if you are Brittany's family, please feel free to check in on her dating life
Via the
here
podcast.
at Berkeley Suncourt.
So I love you guys. You can ask me about it. I won't tell you shit.
But you can listen here.
Yeah, you can listen here.
But to listen, you have to rate, review, and subscribe.
Rate, review, and subscribe to us on Podbean,
iTunes,
but-
Spotify.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you guys are so funny. My husband listens, and he's like, "You guys need to stop making Brittany think she needs a man. Like Brittany's fine. She doesn't
Oh my
need a
God.
date."
Listen, I've always loved Josh, but I love him even more now. Josh, you're my favorite.
He's like, let her be her own woman.
Listen, for the record, just to be very clear, I am my own person. I don't think I need a man to make me happy, to do anything. But there are times in life where I'm just like, this would be so much more fun with a partner. This would be more fun with, like, someone who was always with me. And, like, you know, maybe if I had a friend in life who was, like, in the same place, who didn't have a partner, there would be more things. Stop looking around like that. That's
It's
not true.
overrated.
I.e., me wanting to go out tonight and my friends not necessarily. Where if I had a boyfriend, I could be like, you have to. Not really. That's not how relationships
No,
work.
it is.
But,
That's how it works.
but I'm just saying, there are times in life where that's more convenient. But for the record, I don't need a man. I'm amazing. I can support myself. I do want to buy a house, though, and that's difficult to do on a single income. I'm hoping that.
We did it. We made it work. I don't work.
That's true, Berkeley.
Josh is 25.
High five. Good point.
I credit it to me because
You're a freaking money budgeting.
my husband
bitch.
hates me for it,
I
but
love
he
it.
also loves me for it. So
This is a support for Clarity, the app. I love that app. It's a money budgeting app, and I love it.
okay, I've got the synopsis
Please.
up here.
No, we're not supporting anybody unless they start paying us.
I won't ever support them again unless you pay us, you bitches.
Stop saying the brand of our wines. Just start saying I'm drinking Moscato.
All right, guys. The book I chose was Behind Closed Doors.
Bye.
Bye.
I meant bye, like who?
Bye.
B.A. Paris.
I drank a whole bottle of wine in like 0.3 minutes.
Okay. Good job, Brittany. Whoa.
So quick.
Okay. Everyone knows a couple like Jack and Grace. He has looks and wealth. She has charm and elegance. He's a dedicated attorney who has never lost a case. She is a flawless homemaker, a masterful gardener and cook, and dotes on her disabled younger sister. Though they are still newlyweds, they seem to have it all. You might not want to like them, but you do. You're hopelessly charmed by the ease and comfort of their home, by the graciousness of the dinner parties they throw. You'd like to get to know Grace better. But it's difficult because you realize Jack and Grace are inseparable. Some might call this true love. Others might wonder why Grace never answers the phone, or why she can never meet for coffee even though she doesn't work. How can she cook such elaborate meals but remain so slim? Or why she never seems to take anything with her. Will you guys shut up? With her when she leaves the house, not even a pin. Or why there are such high security metal shutters on all the downstairs windows. Some might wonder what's really going on once the dinner party is over and the front door has closed.
I looked over at Brittany during the synopsis and she was kissing her wine bottle.
I hate you guys.
I'm going to have to talk about it in
I'm
therapy.
just so happy.
That was with no prompting. She just looked at her bottle and she fucking kissed it.
Listen, you guys, I only spent $10.50 on this bottle of wine.
And then she kissed it.
And when I
It
bought it,
wasn't
I
even
thought,
supposed
you know
to
what?
be
This
funny.
is going to be gross, but I'm okay with it.
She
And
kissed
then
it.
I tasted it, and I was like, this shit's good.
Well, I'm so happy it was good, but it was funny.
Okay, so when did you finish the book, Allison?
2 Tuesdays ago.
How long did it take you to read the book? Say it in days.
4 days.
Dallas, I'm so with you. Coors Light's the shit. Sorry. Dallas was like, shut the fuck up, drunk idiot. I'm fine with it.
Hey, not trying to ruin y'all stuff. Berkeley, you have big feet.
Dallas, if you don't listen to this podcast, we'll
All
punch
right,
you.
as the Munchkin is hopping down the yellow brick road down there, I started the book like 2 Tuesdays ago, and I finished it on last Friday.
Okay. Brittany?
It took me like 3 days to finish. So I finished it, I don't honestly remember, but it took like 3 days. Did you say how many days, Allison?
4.
4? Okay. So before we move into this next portion, let's take a quick break. And then we're going to finish up the podcast afterwards. Bye. Hi, we're back. Sorry, we had to take a bathroom break. I would like to take a little side note and say, Berkeley, when you use your guest bathroom, it looks like that flamingo hanging on the wall is giving you a dirty look.
It is. Don't poop in my bathroom.
It's like, bitch, what are you doing here?
It better just be pee.
Yeah,
out of the
I felt
bathroom.
judged. Anyways, we're going to move into our book topics. But before we do, we want to do our spoiler alert. So here's our spoiler alert. We are going to tell you the ending of this book. I'm going to be honest.
Spoiler
I feel
alert.
like this book, at the beginning, you should know either you're going to hear a woman who is completely broken and never stands up to her man, or you hear a woman who is going to stand up to a man and fight for this woman power. And I feel like,
It's not what you
especially
know.
in the climate that you know this world to be in, obviously, spoiler alert, pause for you to stop if you want to. This woman's going to stand up to the man. So if you don't want to hear that, stop it. Don't listen. Come back and finish this after you've listened to the book. But we're going to tell you about it. It's hard for me to listen to spoiler alerts and not want to finish, because I'm the type of person where I want to know how you got to the ending, not necessarily just the end. So spoiler alerts, like spoilers, don't bother me. Do spoiler alerts bother you guys, Allison and Berkeley?
No.
I love spoilers.
Okay, so we might not be the best people to listen to, but if you hate spoilers, go ahead and pause us, read the book, or listen to it like we all did, I think. Did you guys listen to the book?
Yes.
Yes.
Listen to the book or read it, whatever you prefer, you glorious unicorn, beautiful woman. I can't see that. Allison's showing me a picture.
That's a puppy.
Oh, I love puppies. Oh, just cute puppies. I drank a whole bottle of wine before this beginning, like during this before portion of the podcast. But if you guys, I just bumped my microphone. I'm so sorry. It was the back though.
Fucking Bernie.
I'm a fuck up. But if you can't handle spoilers, go ahead and pause us. Come back after you've read the book and tell us all about how much you loved it.
Yeah.
And tell us what your opinions of it were at the end. Whether you complete this podcast or not, we want to hear what you thought about the podcast, what you thought about the book, everything. We're Books Uncorked on Twitter. We're Books Uncorked on Instagram. We're booksuncorked3@gmail.com. Send us an email, comment.
booksuncorked@gmail.com.
Yeah, fuck you, booksuncorked@gmail.com. We think you suck. But let us know what you think. We want to hear it. We really want to hear.
But
we
really,
love
we just
BA.
want you to rate, review, and subscribe.
Yeah,
us.
we want you to rate, review, and subscribe. We love B.A. Paris, who's the author of this book.
This fucking woman kicked some ass with this writing.
Seriously, we're going to talk
B.A.
about the
Paris.
book, and we're going to talk about it in our review. Go ahead and continue, Allison.
I
I'm
just
sorry.
know. She needs to know that what a kick-ass writer she is.
She is an amazing fucking author. I'm going to send her a DM on Instagram to tell her at what minute, which is 29 minutes, to come back and listen to how much we love her and where she can start and not have to listen. Because she's an author. She's busy. She's got time. She's got to dedicate.
Retweet us.
But she retweeted us, and we
No,
love
she
her.
didn't.
She liked it.
She
She
just
liked
liked
it. I'm
it.
sorry.
We want those retweets.
But we love her. We loved her book. We're going to rate it at the end. I'm assuming my fellow podcasters loved it. But we are going to spoil the book a little bit here, but
lot.
I am of the opinion that I love to hear about the journey, not just the end. I don't want to see your picture at the top of Mount Everest. I want to see your pictures of getting there and how you got there and how
Brittany,
you loved
you're
it.
drunk.
Brittany is so drunk. She
I
just
am,
keeps
but
talking.
that's
This is
how
the
I love
longest
it.
You
spoiler
just
alert.
talked in a circle.
Okay, but this is our spoiler alert. So this is going to be spoiled.
I started looking at puppies on Instagram in the middle of that.
Was it that boring?
It was very long.
It wasn't
But
boring.
was it boring?
No.
You just talked in
Okay.
a circle. for
I'm
a second.
sorry.
No,
I
it's a
loved
cute
it.
circle.
Okay.
Okay,
It was
let's
a very
talk about
cute
it.
circle.
Okay, let's talk about it.
Finally.
Into our
this is what I'm
topics.
here.
Let's
That's what
start
I'm
talking
here for.
about. Let's start talking about how Grace and Jack started dating. Their cute little date ship. Try not to think about the relationship. Just talk from Grace's point of view. That date ship was so cute. Be honest. That
I
date
can't.
ship. Okay, so Grace and Jack, the main characters of the book, started dating because Grace has this little sister who she loves so much. Who
has Down syndrome.
Down syndrome. So she is mentally handicapped, but she is incredibly smart. She's a wonderful human being. She just acts a little bit young for her age, right? Wouldn't you say that's an accurate description of Molly? Is that her name?
No.
Millie?
Millie.
Millie,
I feel
I'm
like
sorry.
they said that she's just not very high verbal.
was fucking close.
She's low verbal.
Mm-hmm. She is a
but
verbal.
very intelligent.
That's a perfect description of her. She is not verbal.
Well, no, she is verbal.
just low.
Low.
yeah.
That's what I meant. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
low.
Sorry, I've just worked with Down syndrome kids that aren't verbal, and there's a big difference in
Yeah.
Okay,
not
I got
verbal.
you. No, I'm glad that you made that.
Yeah.
distinction.
Sorry, that's why I came back so quick
No,
with that.
I'm
She
glad
is
you made that
definitely verbal.
distinction.
In fact, I would say for somebody who has Down syndrome, she's more verbal than most Down syndrome kids.
Uh-huh.
In the
I
book,
work with
she-
younger kids though, so I don't
Uh-huh.
know. It actually kind of gave me a lot of hope reading this book that the kids that I've worked with can become more verbal.
I fucking loved Millie
Yeah, she was
throughout
the hero.
this book. She was a rock
Honestly-
star. She gave Grace strength.
She gave Grace power. Yeah.
I loved her.
A little bit something else too.
Yeah, we'll get into that throughout the book.
Okay, stupid date ship.
But so let's talk about the dating. Allison, can you tell us a little bit about the dating? Or Berkeley, do you want to tell us?
No,
the
I'll tell you.
dating?
So finally,
Sorry, Berkeley.
well, you
And
asked
Allison
me
and
first.
I talk so heavily during this. I feel like Berkeley, your input is always so like spot on, but I want you to like.
Someone cut Brittany off.
Hey, she's not dying in the bathroom.
Yeah, she's
That's a
not.
win.
I'm kidding, Brittany. It's just so funny because she's not the
Okay.
one to get drunk. Okay,
I'm so never the one to get drunk. I'm enjoying myself.
I'm so happy you are.
So one of the two of you should tell us about this.
About the dating?
Yes.
Did we talk about how they met yet? Is that
Yeah,
no,
that's,
that's
what
how
we're
they
doing.
meet.
at the park
Yes.
with Millie?
Yes.
You just love Jack when they meet at the fucking park. Like, he starts, like, dancing with Millie. She's like, everyone's staring. Grace wants to leave.
Because she's embarrassed. Because Millie's dancing by herself. And nobody really realizes, like, that Millie is not, like, one of Grace's friends put it as, oh, well, she seems a little bit of an attention seeker. And that's not exactly that's not what's going on. She just has Down syndrome.
Yeah, and that's whenever she was retelling the story at the
Right, at the
the
dinner,
dinner
party.
party before they knew she had Down syndrome. But like, he just swoops in and starts dancing with her, and like Grace is like immediately like
Just,
enamored.
yeah, because why wouldn't you be? And,
Yeah.
I mean, like, I think that it's so... Yeah, I just feel like it's definitely something that would be charming. But you know, when you read
so
this...
charming. I would totally hit on a man who I saw doing that.
Right, but you know
to
at
be
this
real.
part of the book that something's off and amiss. When you hear this part, when we get to this part in the book, I already am... My guard's up.
To be fair, if this part had been at the beginning of the book, my guard wouldn't have been up. I would have been like, this man is so amazing. He cares.
Well, in the whole
This
first
part is
part of
not
the
at the
book,
beginning of
I
the
was
book.
just like, what? Where is this turn going to be? Like, I knew that
Yeah.
there was going to be a turn, but
So maybe we should tell our listeners a little bit about how the book started. We saw in the beginning of the book that Jack was he was a controlling, like, I don't know if at this point we knew he was manipulative, but we definitely knew he was controlling.
just by the way he was acting, this book opens with a dinner party.
And Grace
Yeah.
is worried the whole time about finishing the meal on time, perfectly.
Perfectly.
Because they're hosting. She's the cook.
Yeah.
Cooking everything on time, timing like when guests are going to be talking, when they're going to get to the dinner table, how they're going to cook the food to be
She
just right.
manipulates them to go to the table early.
Yeah.
Grace is such a badass bitch.
Grace in this story, I feel like when you read this book, it may not come across as much in this podcast, but when you read the book, you're going to feel and just read how much Grace is a kick-ass human that, like, you're like, I aspire to be the, like, amazing human being that Grace is.
Yeah, I mean, like,
And, like, there's a lot of times during this podcast, I feel like you're not going to feel like Grace is a kick-ass, like, empowered woman.
She seems very meek. Like in the
She
beginning,
does.
it's almost frustrating as a reader. You're like, no, girl, no.
You are in control.
Yes, like, you want to tell her, like, oh, well, and not necessarily.
it just like this
It's
whole
frustrating.
book just starts out.
Okay. I'll stop.
This whole book starts out with us feeling like it's going to be about just a battered woman in an abusive
Right.
relationship. You
Yeah.
have no idea what is actually happening at the beginning of this book. You don't know what Grace has been through this whole time. So you start
Well, and that's
out,
what how do you guys feel about, that's the only thing I'll say. How do you guys feel about past to present books?
It's normally really hard for me to follow, but in this book, I enjoyed it. I felt like in this book, it was really clear when we were going past to present.
Oh yeah, because she did a great job with that. I always am so
this was my favorite past to present book.
I agree.
Yeah.
I am on the same
So
page with
easy.
you. Yes,
I
definitely.
love this author.
Night
This
Circus was
author
perfect.
was.
This-
I don't know if it's the
yeah.
author, the editor, both a mixture. I feel like they
Kick
kicked
ass. Yes, Brittany, kick ass. Somebody make that a
I like
ringtone
kiss
so it
ass.
can be my ringtone. Us just saying kick ass at the same time.
I love it. No, I think that B.A. Paris and her editor, maybe just her, I don't want to give over credit to either, did an excellent job at blending that so well that it wasn't disruptive in the book, but that it gave your reader a super clear division of what's happening now and what we're flashing back to, especially like in comparison to the Night Circus that we read last time.
I had no idea what was going on.
Our last podcast was about the Night Circus. That was really
Yeah,
hard
coming
to
from
read.
this, coming
So
from that
lost.
book to this book is kind of a
Yeah,
refreshing
it
thing.
was. Which, I mean, to be fair, we all talked about in the Night Circus how it may have been easier if we were reading it in paperback,
Oh,
where
yeah.
we could have like
So much better.
Physically
it.
seen it, yeah.
yeah. But I
with
loved
Audible-
how they did it.
With Audible, even just listening to it was
Easy.
it was easy. And I will say that while I was listening to this book, I was at the end so hurried into, like, I was so into the book at the end that I grabbed my paperback copy, stopped the Audible, and started reading it paperback because I was like, if this isn't going fast enough for me, I have to know what happens.
I love that.
That's how good it was. I had to stop listening. I'm a busy mom. I'm a teacher. I listen while I do things around the house, while I grade papers.
I don't know how you do that.
Oh, well, that's just how I function.
I can't, like, that's why it takes me so long to read books, because I have to wait till nap time or bedtime, because I cannot pay
To be
attention.
fair, your attention at the age of your child, you can disagree with me if you want, Allison. You have a kid and you know that a little better than
No,
I
it's
do.
fine.
I feel like for Lillian, you have to be a little bit more eye on
I just,
contact as opposed to just listening and seeing issues, because Lily could get into more dangerous stuff than I feel like Nate at 4 at
three.
least.
He's
Oh,
3.
fudge. Contact. That was a real screw up. Aunt B fucked up just
It's
now.
okay. I forgive you.
But I feel like Nate, Allison, maybe it's a house difference, I feel
he
like.
does better with, like, whenever he's, like, watching something, like, if he's in the back in, like, a bedroom, he's not getting into things like Lily is. Like, if they lay in my bedroom and watch TV, Nate lays down and watches TV. Lily gets into my drawers.
Yeah.
And gets into everything else.
I feel like Allison can tell. I've been with Allison in her living room, and she can be like, nope, something's going on. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And she's like, she goes in there and Nate's like doing something, and she knows something's wrong. Whereas I feel like Lily, that's a little bit harder
She
to
does
tell.
it the whole time. There's
So maybe
no,
it's a kid difference and not an age difference.
Yeah.
well, and
It's
I
a
will
little
tell
bit.
you,
She's just turned 2.
it's taken a lot of training to get him where he is. For me to be able to just walk away and do laundry and have my earbuds in and not be concerned
You
about.
leave your earbuds in?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
But so that's what I mean. It's hard
Lily
for
would
you
be
to
on
imagine
the
that.
ceiling.
It's hard for you to imagine that, but that's kind of what I'm saying. It's hard for you to imagine that, but Allison can do that more easily because of, I don't know, it's Nate, it's his age, I don't know. But Allison can do that more readily as a parent.
It's not like I have it blasting where I can't hear something.
Yeah.
But like, I'm anyway. I'm
I'm a
tuned in.
worry wart.
I don't think that's a parent difference, or I don't think that's a person difference. I think that's a parent difference is where I'm getting at.
No, that's fine.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think we're both great parents.
Lily's
Oh,
like
you guys are both fucking amazing parents.
I just think the difference. Lily's immediately into everything as soon as she notices I'm not paying attention.
Well, yeah, but that was Nate too at one point.
He is 3
You
now.
guys are awesome.
So I think he is like he's good.
You guys are both.
He knows it's time to watch Minions when it's time to watch Minions.
Oh yeah, he
You
knows.
guys are both fucking amazing, but I think we need to move into our marriage portion of the topic.
Fucking
Well,
marriage.
fucking marriage. So as soon as these bitches get married, Grace isn't a bitch. That's what I did. Anyway, he takes her to Thailand, and he's like, hey, bitch, basically, I hate
Literally, this is their honeymoon.
you. Literally, he never comes back to the hotel.
Yeah, actually, you're my prisoner.
He leaves her at the hotel on their honeymoon the night before they're supposed to catch the flight. He talks her into checking the flight, and then they're in Thailand. And then I feel like Allison, maybe Berkeley, can take this topic of what happens once they land in Thailand. Who wants to do it?
I don't even remember. They're in a hotel.
when they land in
Sounds like
Thailand-
Allison then.
Yeah.
When they land in Thailand, Grace is just really timid and like confused because he's being a dick. And then he like gets her in the hotel in Thailand and he's like, so basically having sex with you is cringeworthy. I have no desire to like be with you sexually. In fact, the only reason I'm with you is so I can eventually abuse your younger sister.
Who has Down syndrome.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's only in it so that he can. Long story
Tells
short.
her this really horrific story about killing his own
Becca,
mother.
Would you give me a glass of water? You look like an amazing human being. Is what you look like.
Are you fucking kidding
It wasn't me.
I've
I
had
didn't have any. Okay, so the way Jack acts, so the way he like sells this, not that he's selling anything because no one would fucking buy it, is that his whole motivation is so that he can abuse, what's her name?
terrify her.
Molly?
He wants to scare
Is it Molly?
Millie.
Millie. I mess that up every time. He wants to terrorize Millie the way his dad. I love you, Becca. Becca brought me a glass of water that I knew I needed because I judge myself better than apparently Berkeley does.
Oh, damn.
Shade, but it's not really shade. It's just full out blackout.
So many regrets.
That's fine. Okay.
But his plan the whole time, which at this point in the book becomes evident, his plan is that he wanted Grace so that he could gain control of Millie, and he could use Millie, and he would have possession of her so that he could create fear in her and thrive off of that, which is what his father did
To his own
on
mom.
his mother. So, what do you guys want to say about their marriage? Tell us.
Well, I mean, essentially, that wasn't a marriage.
It was a trap.
It was a trap.
It was a trap. And she tried to escape, and the managers of the hotel didn't believe her.
Oh, can we please
was so
talk about
torturous.
that?
Yes, let's talk about it. It
Believe
was so
women.
horrible.
Believe women. No, and that's what's frustrating. It's like, as somebody with anxiety, I had a really big issue
tearing
with
up
like
talking about
This whole part.
Can I preface this a little bit?
yes.
Because I want to give this all the value it deserves. Jack talked the managers and the employees of the hotel to believe that Grace was just an overly dramatic woman as opposed to the panicked human being she was. So it's a very important as
She was
humans.
delusional.
It's important as humans, all of us, that we understand you can't trust one person's point of view. You can't trust 2, 3, or 4. If one person comes to you and tells you that they are in danger, if they are in fear of themselves, anything, that you trust them and you overreact if that's what's necessary. An overreaction is better than an underreaction.
And you know what? Who should have been questionable in that situation? Jack. Jack should have been questioned. If Jack was the unabusive husband that he claimed to be, then he wouldn't have prefaced anybody.
Okay, so to give a good understanding of what's happening right now, Grace gets to they both get to the hotel. Jack
He essentially
makes
scares her
Grace
shitless.
to believe that she's trapped, that she has no way of getting out. She gets out. She goes to the hotel manager and she's like, "Get me to the embassy." Embassy, that's what it's called, right?
The embassy.
Embassy. I'm sorry. I got a whole bottle of wine at this point, people.
Embassy.
The embassy. She's like, "Get me there. I'm in danger." Da 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 da. But Jack's already told them, like,
Can that be your
My wife's
this podcast?
yes,
my wife's
embassy.
crazy. Embassy. Do you want me to write that down as a note?
Yes.
Okay. But so he's already told them, my wife's crazy. Da 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 da. So I get that they were like hesitant. So I hate to say that I blame them, because if I was in that point of view, I might. But also, if I was in that point of view, I would have been like, "Give me the medical records, give me all of this. I'm gonna call the police anyways."
I feel
but
like
it's
that's not
hard,
going to happen
honestly.
in Thailand.
Yeah.
I
In
know,
a
I
different
know.
country, that's not
Yeah.
going to happen.
I know, but it's just, to be fair to all of us, like, to be fair to her, to be fair to the managers. I realize these are all
Be fair
fictional
to
characters, but like, I know they're all fictional people, and we're not actually being fair to people. But I'm just saying, like, I kind of
It's
get
possible.
I get where everyone was coming from. I feel like this book, more than most that I've read, I feel like more than all that we've read as a group, this was plausible. I feel like this really could have potentially happened. And I don't know that if I had been an employee at this hotel, I like to think I would have acted differently. But I'm not positive that I would have.
Here's the deal. It is definitely a rough situation for them
Mm-hmm.
to put you in. But as someone who has been called my whole life overly emotional.
Mm-hmm.
My whole life I've been called overly emotional until I was 3 and diagnosed with anxiety. No, you're not overly emotional. You have an issue with handling things appropriately because you have anxiety. And that doesn't make you anything less than anybody else. It's just so frustrating as somebody with anxiety and who has struggled with these things, mental illnesses, to like sit and be like, "Oh no, he fucking didn't. Do not even." And it isn't. It's just, it's such a hard thing. And yeah, you've definitely got to look at the things of what the people are saying and, everything else, and what I can't imagine being put in that position. In fact, the girl in that position was trying. Like, she followed her up to the room.
I'm with you. It would be really hard to react to that.
Mm-hmm.
But again, that's where I would like to stress, like, I would rather overreact than underreact.
Exactly.
I would rather have something more extreme than necessary than have something under. So, like, call an ambulance for a sick person than let that sick person die.
Right. So, like,
Does that make sense?
right.
Okay.
So, but that's the thing is, like, you have got to you just have to listen to women. If a woman is saying she's abused or she is trapped, you just gotta be the person to listen.
You don't know what goes on behind closed doors.
Yeah, behind closed doors. Love how you worked the title in there. So on that note, let's move into the aftermath. So I feel like to give a little bit more of insight into the marriage, we need to at least semi-mention that Jack was very into how the image looked to outside people. So his business partners, his casual friends and acquaintances. So he would make them throw not business parties. Dinner parties with their friends, business acquaintances, neighbors, for them to see that Grace was amazing and happy and whatever, but he wouldn't let Grace talk to people individually. Grace had no outside contact with the world without Jack's full representation. I'm struggling with the word choice there.
That's good.
But
He was there. He was representing her.
yeah, without, even when she was on the phone, when she was speaking, he
Standing
was
there.
there. He was next to her, making sure she didn't say anything inappropriate, all that kind of stuff. And sometimes he would make her backtrack on the things she had said and make it sound like she was the one that was changing that decision or whatever. But
He was so manipulative.
yeah, as a woman, I would say this book kind of helped me, like, kind of almost take note. You guys, please correct me, make comments as you feel. But take note of, like, what a woman who wasn't at her own will saying. Like, he went to lunches with her. He made her cancel lunches, all that kind of stuff, to where it made it sound like she was the one making that decision. And a lot of the times that wasn't the case. So it was,
It literally never
almost
was the case.
empowering for me to kind of have a better idea of what it might sound like for a woman who didn't feel safe
Mm-hmm.
saying her true feelings or self, what she thought or what she felt.
It's a prisoner.
Do you feel like that? Do you feel like now you have a better understanding of what a woman might say or express?
I do. I mean, here's the deal. As someone obsessed with true crime, I feel like I'm always listening.
I'm not. So I'm not as stressed with true crime only because it gives me anxiety.
Ted Bundy.
But
Yeah.
Brooklyn, like, do you think that? Like, do you think you know? Like, if. But here's the thing. In this book, she talks about the friends, right, that she had, and that she, like, broke up with them over email. Essentially, Jack was like,
Yeah, they just stopped writing her.
yeah. I feel like that shit would never happen with you two.
I
There'd
have an
be
example.
some issues.
Okay, so I have
I
an
feel like you would
example.
come after me. Do you not feel like that?
Yeah, I'd be like, what's your garage door code, bitch? Let me in, bitch.
Okay, so I have an example.
Okay.
If this helps express it more to where maybe we can have this conversation a little bit more. So I have a friend who recently got married. Her name is Krisha. I love her dearly. I think her husband's amazing. Don't get me wrong. I do not think Krisha is in at all this kind of relationship. But as I read this book, I started thinking about, like, man, I haven't talked to Krisha much without her husband being involved as much lately. And maybe I should, like, try to hang out with Krisha more individually. So then I got back to thinking, and Krisha and I recently had dinner one night without her husband. And, like, obviously, I love Krisha. I love Krisha's husband. He's amazing. But, like, it did kind of point out to me, like, how sometimes you can chalk something up to being someone just so involved in a new relationship that sometimes it's not them being involved in a new relationship.
It's them forcibly being involved.
Yeah. Which I think that all of my friends are super empowered, wonderful women, but this book also expressed to me, like, how an empowered, amazing woman may not be as empowered as we believe them to be.
Right. So let's talk about the murder.
Wait. Should we mention first about the visits to go see her sister and how her sister said that Jack pushed her
We're
down the
super
stairs
behind
during
though,
the
so
wedding.
let's keep
Because
moving.
Yes!
that's when she gets
Fucking
the sleeping
this
pills.
bitch!
She has to get the
We
sleeping
have
pills
about
from her to kill.
17 minutes.
Okay, she had to
You're
get the
good.
sleeping pills
Yeah.
from the sister.
Tell us
She
about
said-
that, Berkeley.
Jack, bad man. We kill Jack.
We kill bad man, I think.
We kill
did
bad
she say
man.
Jack or did she
No,
say
she
bad
said
man?
George Clooney.
George Clooney. Yeah, Berkeley. Tell us about, I love how I'm excited I am about this. Tell us about how she said, how she separated Jack and George Clooney.
Well, was it whenever she got pushed down the stairs? She said, we can't say we don't like Jack.
Right. Well,
can't,
Becca stopped her and said, you cannot say you don't like Jack because he will. Essentially, she was concerned because she didn't want her to say, like, anything negative towards Jack because she knew that Jack would hold that against her later on.
Like, it'd be Grace's fault.
Right.
You told Millie that she can't like me.
Yeah.
So Jack became George Clooney.
And Jack's such an idiot, he didn't even fucking know.
He's a fucking idiot. Jack is not that great.
How did he not know he was George Clooney? What a
To be
fucking
fair,
idiot.
He didn't
Because
think that Millie was as
Fucking
smart as
Becca's
she
a
was.
genius. And she told him.
It wasn't Becca.
No, but Becca told him that she didn't like George Clooney because Becca loved George Clooney as a child.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. It's like,
Becca's a fucking genius. Becca is underrated in this book for her intelligence.
who's Becca?
Oh wait, Grace. I'm calling Becca Grace. Becca, sorry, I was complimenting you. It's not you. Becca's Berkeley's roommate.
That's what I was talking about.
Grace. I'm talking about Grace.
Becca. Okay, so we're talking about Grace, but
I'm
also
drunk. I had a
Millie.
whole bottle of wine
Millie was underrated,
in an
though.
hour.
Millie was underrated. Like, Millie was the one who gave Grace the sleeping pills. And, like, said, like, we're going to kill negative ghostwriter. You're going to need to go.
Please.
You can sit there if you're quiet. Okay, anyways.
Okay, you're good.
So the aftermath, basically, I'm going to give a quick synopsis of the aftermath because we have to move. We're at almost an hour. We're at 58 minutes. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay, you gave me a face that maybe it wasn't.
No, sorry.
So basically,
head
the
hurts.
aftermath happens is Grace kills Jack with the pills that Millie gives her because she's a kick-ass. No, she didn't just. No, I'm sorry. She doesn't kill him with the pills. She knocks him out with the pills and then she locks him in a room that Jack planned on locking Millie in that has no door to escape from. It has no, like, handle to escape from.
no, it was.
You
it
can't
would-
open from the inside.
Right.
She locks him in there. He ends up dying of dehydration,
I
right?
missed this part of the book. How does she get him down there? Did she drag
She
him?
fights him. He tries to lock her in there, and she fights him. And
No,
locks him in.
wait. Can I tell?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
so here's what happens.
You guys should read this book. It was fucking amazing.
Grace, Brittany,
I'm sorry.
they can sit here, but you can't talk to them.
They're the live studio audience. We don't talk to the live studio audience.
Keep talking.
Okay, so Grace was in the room, and she tricked Jack into bringing her whiskey every night, and so she said she has something in her eye, and while she has something in her eye, she's like, "Here, I'll hold your whiskey for you," and has both whiskey drinks in her hand, and drugs hers, right? And instead of handing Jack his whiskey back, she hands him hers. After
She's tricked him into lying, like thinking she's just given up.
Right. And so then he's frustrated, and so he shoots it all back. Well, so then he says something really degrading and hateful towards women. And so when he says that, before even thinking about it, she throws her whiskey in his face. Like, she's pissed at whatever he said. But she acted too quickly. So, because the sleeping pills haven't kicked in yet. So, she's got the sleeping pills down his throat. But now she's fucked up because she needed to let them sit in a little bit before she, like, did anything. Does that make sense?
That makes total sense. I got you.
Her whole goal was to get him to get her down the stairs and into the basement and into the red room. But the goal being that he gets her down there and then she locks him in instead of the other way around. Well, she did it too quickly, so then she had to run away from him and play hide and seek, essentially. Just like at the beginning of the book.
Yeah, I love it.
And I hated it. And
No, I don't love it, but I just meant like it was a good note in the book.
So then he finally finds her, but when he picks her up, he puts her over his shoulder. And mind you, he's got about 16 sleeping pills in his system that he doesn't know about, that he's just shot down with whiskey. And he takes her down to the red room and throws her on the floor. And so before he can lock the door, she dives toward his legs and pulls him in, and then, like, ducks underneath him and gets out the door and shuts it behind her.
What a badass bitch.
And then he falls asleep and then dies of dehydration in the red room because he can't get out. So this bitch goes to Thailand, and by this bitch I mean badass
and pretend
bitch.
like
Yeah, like her husband.
pretend
was
like her
expecting
husband's
her husband
coming,
there.
and she pulls that off flawlessly.
Oh, so many props to this girl. She totally killed it. Totally killed it. So, I mean, essentially, she kicked ass in all of the ways.
She fucking kicks ass all the time.
Except for friend Esther.
Oh, I love Esther.
Mention Berkeley. Tell us about Esther. I fucking love Esther.
She knew that Jack said that Millie's room was going to be red.
Right. And this is what is so important. Like, fucking, she's such a badass character. And fuck Jack for trying to trick Grace into thinking that Esther's trying to help
tell
her.
us about how Esther. Yeah, tell us about Esther, please. One of you.
So Esther was just this girl that was essentially in Jack's circle of friends, who was new-ish to the
She
circle.
was single, wasn't she? Was she divorced? I feel
No.
was
She wasn't divorced, but she had kids. She wasn't divorced.
No.
And so, like, they essentially, like, were just, she was new to the group. And
Yes.
so Becca
Continue.
Grace was just trying to, like, figure out how, like, Esther, she noticed, was super observant. And that made her nervous, but it also made her hopeful. So, essentially, Esther was the saving grace in all of this.
She said, so
Yeah.
Millie's room was red, wasn't it?
Yeah. Oh, what a
Yeah.
powerful line.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Esther in this book was a woman empowering woman.
Mm-hmm.
She wanted women to succeed. She cared. She loved. You shaking your head? Did you just?
No,
agree?
I'm like, she knew.
Like, I'm
she
drunk. I'm
knew-
going to pick up on every.
She knew. I feel like she could have done more. That's
I feel
fine.
like she did as much as she was capable of.
I think she didn't want to overstep.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's something that you just have to be diligent about. Like,
So, I compared this to, there's a woman I used to work with who was very attached to her husband, who was very involved in her life. And I tried to compare this to if I hadn't worked with her, if I hadn't seen her outside of her husband. Which, if I hadn't seen her outside of her husband, outside of work, I wouldn't have seen her. Very rarely, maybe. Wouldn't have seen her. But I also know that Tyler's an amazing husband and man of God. But, like, I was trying to compare it, like, in the comparison to this book. Like, if I were Esther
uh-huh.
and, like, trying to think of, like, was Alicia mistreated? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, in that, and I was trying to think, like, would I have imagined that? And
Well, I think that's
and I
the
don't
thing
think
is,
I
like,
would have.
how, like, could you really imagine something this horrific?
No,
Yeah.
never.
But Esther, like, made herself. I feel like Esther's the unsung hero of this book.
Yeah, for sure. I agree with you.
Do you?
Yes.
Berkeley?
Oh yeah, I love
Okay.
Esther, but I also feel like she could have done more.
Do you guys feel ready to move into the rating? I
Yeah,
feel like
let's do
everything we
this.
said about this book is super valid, and our readers just have to read the book to feel validated.
There's no
Yeah.
way we could give them all the
Okay.
info.
Yeah, you have to read this book. It's
Allison?
incredible.
What do you rate this book? 1 cork being I opened the bottle, I sipped the drink, I didn't love it, it was fine. 5 corks being I opened the bottle, I drank the whole thing, I loved it, I couldn't get enough.
Okay, so I'm going to give this 5 out of 5. This
Yeah,
was
I
such
love
an
it.
incredible book, and so much so that I told you already that I had to quit listening to the audiobook and fucking open the book myself and read it myself because the audiobook wasn't going fast enough. So this was incredible. B.A. Paris, you did an incredible job. I will be reading more of you. This was incredible.
Yeah,
Love it.
Berkeley, tell
I
me about
agree.
it.
I agree with the 5 out of 5. I'm definitely 5 corks because it was an easy read. It kept me very entertained the whole time. Past and present was spot on, and I never felt lost the whole book.
Yeah,
It was my favorite.
awesome.
What about you, Brittany?
I'm gonna give it, I hate giving anything a 5 out of 5 because there's no going up from there.
You can always do better, but
But I feel like this book was a 5 out of 5.
Can we please get a hooray for our
Yeah.
first 5 out of 5? All 3 of
we
us,
need
5
like
out of
a
5.
three-way high
A
five.
fucking
3-way
hooray.
high five.
Yeah.
Oh, we missed.
Berkeley, or Allison
Okay.
and Berkeley fucked up there. Not Berkeley, just Allison, because her arms are short.
Because her
she's
arms
shorter.
are too short.
I love this book. I feel like B.A. Paris. I literally cannot think of a single thing that she should have done better.
She couldn't. I mean, it was such an incredible book.
She did so well. I loved it. I loved this book. I felt like the storyline was amazing. I felt like B.A. Paris told the storyline she was intending so perfectly. I feel like the woman came across perfectly in the perfect amount of realistic empowerment and semi-meek. I loved it. I think she was kick-ass.
Okay.
Are you guys ready to move in
Yes.
to the next section?
Yes.
Which is What the Fucks, Sister Citations, and High Fives. I'm ready. Berkeley, can you tell us yours? Are you ready?
I have a high five for my daughter.
Let's
because
hear it.
She was born 2 years ago today. And I just want to say you've
cute little
survived
baby.
and you rock.
I love it. Congratulations, Lillian.
Happy
Allison?
birthday, Lily.
I have 2. I have a high 5 to the weather.
Snow day.
You rock. Thanks for the extra day to get ready for PT conferences. And I have a sister citation for Berkeley for dying during the last podcast. That was
You
fucking
deserve one
funny.
of those. That was so great. I'm proud of you, Berkeley.
I'm not.
Okay, so I have a high 5, and it's for Allison. You won. You made me look good. You got lucky. Thanks for accidentally ordering these mic stands. Allison accidentally ordered one mic stand. We tested it out. It was fucking amazing. Berkeley and I ordered both. Thanks for testing it out for us accidentally.
Gracias.
We love you. They're amazing.
I love
We'll
it
post
too.
a picture to our Instagram and let you guys know how much we love it. We will post our next book to our Instagram and our Twitter and let you guys know what it is. I'm super excited to tell you guys about it, but there's just not enough time. And yeah, so thanks you guys for listening. We're so excited. I hope you guys heard Dallas burp super extravagantly right now. Love you guys lots. Do you guys have anything else to say?
Yeah, so make sure you follow us on our Instagram, Twitter, and if you have something to say, we'd love to hear from you. Shoot us an email at booksuncorked3@gmail.com. And Facebook is also Books Uncorked. Please make sure to rate, review, and subscribe as well. Those really help us out on the charts and help other people who might not know about our podcast find us. So if you like us, make sure to do that.
And look forward to, at some point, we'll post our bonus episode of where we recorded half of this.
Of Berkeley dying.
And then Berkeley died. But then she survived. She didn't really die.
I only halfway survived the next day, you guys. I barfed all day.
Love you guys lots. Bye.
We'll catch you on the flip side.
Bye.